There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We searching for podcast and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the globe. Calling for people who willing to serve. Blessing our time and our efforts are rest. The brothers giving us the end of promise from them. So welcome my life with African.
I live for
Master.
Les paris sont bien connus à qui Sktv venyo. C'est ma chérie, tina ke ase ma yamo. Engi sano muni, emu aye yo. Engi lofa mui, emu aye yo.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grand bazaar.
And I didn't ya to money, and I said ya to money, and I couldn't clear ya to money, and I could do ya to money, and I didn't ya to money, and I said ya to money, and I couldn't clear ya to money, and I could do ya to money, and I forget it now ya to money. That's the TV, and I forget it now. Cause you walk on my ya to money. Yeah.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grand bazaar.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We talking for podcasts and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the globe. Calling for people who willing to serve. The blessing our time and our efforts are rest. The broadcast we giving are real and I promise my best. To work with my life with African. From Grandfather Nima to Lufa, from River Sass, River G to Chile, from Banku, Bombay, Cape Mount, Montserrat, Sano to Backwalu, from Maryland, Bonkan to the Mikey B. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa.
Indeed, Sktv, we are the best in Liberia. Sktv, we are the best in Africa. Sktv, we are the best around the world. Folks, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, based on your time zone. For a matter of fact, we don't have the same time zone, especially those of you who are outside of Liberia, in Europe, in Asia, and that of America. But again, it's good to be back. We were here with you on Monday, which of course was last evening, and again today is Tuesday, having to be the 7th of April, and we're here with you. So many things happening in our nation, so many things happening around the world. The world is getting busy day by day, yes. But again, I'm Johnson Mayborn. For a matter of fact, my birthday is right around the corner. Few weeks from now on, I'll be entering my birth month, and for a matter of fact, will be May 1. But again, happy birthday to those of you who are celebrating birthdays, especially our own Sktv CEO, Mr. Sekou Kane, celebrates his birthday on today. We're joining the rest of you out there who are wishing well and best on this day to say, yeah, happy birthday to you, Mr. Kane. Happy birthday to all you do for Mama Liberia, all of the zest, all of the energy, all of your support, and everything towards the growth and development of Mama Liberia. We say we wish you all of the best as we celebrate this day. We hope that you will join us anytime soon, even though you went on a little break, and you'll be joining us very, very soon. Yes, on this platform that you created, that you brought into existence, that Liberians should be able to know between the truth and that of the lies. So again, that's good. Help us share the show, people. Those of you who are watching, help us share the show this evening. The show will be interesting as usual. For us here, we don't do what you call, we don't take sides. We have no sides, even though sometimes you wrongly accuse us. Sometimes even when it comes to persecution or something, you will want for people to persecute us because the way we talk, you think that we have sides. The same way that people destroy people during the war, Sometimes, oh, they put in a Geo person, they put in a crown, they put in a man on this one at this, they other one a mandingo. Just like that. The same mindset, the same behavior, the same things still exist. Even from our people outside of Liberia who we think that they know better. Some of them too, they follow suit. That's the kind of country now we get. For me, I'm very surprised 100%, let me be frank, that people who travel outside of Liberia, who live on 24-hour current, or if I will have shower, they don't even take bath the way we can do. We take bath here in bucket. Most of our people out there, they don't even know what they call taking bath, maybe in bucket. But these are people, when they come here, they join the other people who are also struggling to make the system more messed up. You know, but again, that is society. That's the country, though. Because the reason why this thing happening, or this thing continue to happen, is because the system we have here is weak, it's terrible, it's messed up. So anybody can look at you, imagine a motorcyclist. He nearly fought me from Dupont Road Junction here. He charging me $70 to 250. I can even take less than 2 minutes to walk. So people do anything that they want to do to people, and the job was car free. Anything people can do, anytime somebody can do anything to you. Somebody can come in the country and mine. The person can come here, they do gold business, they do diamond business, they take all of the resources they want to feed, they give our people some kind of cola, something, and they go away and they take all of the resources. So it's good. Robert, my good friend and brother Robert, good evening to you. Amoba Bastian, also good evening to you. And to those of you who are watching, give us like, a comment. That will also be good for us here this evening. So that's why when we come here, we talk the way we talk. Some of you don't know. Sometimes you get it twisted. Oh, maybe, yeah, the government. Do I care about who in power? Logically, think. President Bwaka now, when he's traveling, people giving way. People moving from the road so that he can pass. So logically think about his life. Let me just pass you with it before we do the sharing. Yeah, Monk. Thank God that Monk will soon join us. So do you really think that President Bwaka will come way down to your level to be thinking about how you feeling, what's going on with you? No. That him, they call power. When he enter you, where people are worshiping, particularly worshiping you. Even some of the pastors, like you can see them today, people calling them daddy. Even in our common homes, man, for example, let me just break it down maybe to the lowest, some of you, to the way you don't understand it. In our homes, the reason why we and our women or our wives will continue to have problems is because they don't want to serve us the way we want them to serve us. So at the end of the day, there will be confusion. Now what's happening? No, nothing else. Somebody want to take authority. The person want to be the head. The person want to be seen like, oh yeah, somebody worshiping them. They're coming, they're dancing, they're what, that's the thing with life. So you don't expect a politician who are there already, people coming to him, asking for things. Even when do little things, he think that you have done all of the best for you. People give you $50. Politician give you $20, 10%, 15%. You get a 50 or 10,000. Then you're happy. You will share 200. You come here, you get angry. So you see, the motorcycle. So I told you, I said, my brother, well, anything you do, anything you want to say, no problem. Just give my change and let me walk out. Or if I let me walk out of your sight. So, and that's it. How to walk out. In fact, you look out for long. No, man. Oh, sorry, I never come for it. But I said, no, my brother, go ahead. Go ahead. So this thing happened to all of us. Taxi driver will insult you for no reason, because no system. Tricycle or the keke meaning will cost you. Some of our market women, our women who are struggling, looking for that daily bread, they will cost them back to back. Just because some of the money, what they carry them, they carry monies around to go drink, to go useless the monies. But because of that, someone else should pay for their life. Someone else should pay for their habits. The mom was saying yesterday. So we paying for the habits. We paying. We look. So when we come here to talk. Don't get angry. We fight so the system can get better. Joseph Boga will not come way down here to see what happened. Only his lieutenants supposed to work things out. So when they get work things out, then we will talk. We'll do all of the talking because people have been taking pay to do these things, but they don't want to work. Everybody quiet. They say a lot of system to roll. Oh, are you coming to Liberia? Liberia benediction 1847. Are you a change? These are kind of perception that we are building today. Yeah, man. Ellis Kulu, thank you for joining us. Following up from Nimba, that's good. Okay, from Bound City, that's great. You help us share the show. Monk already setting up. Monk will soon join all of myself. Let me do the sharing. So I just part with most of these things about what happening, what affecting us, and we'll continue to play the blind, how they call it, I don't know what kind of blind lifestyle of some of us. It's in a party business. Where party will carry you? Why when you fighting out there, when you're a motorcycle fighting, or when you're in tricycle or keke, or what you may call when you in Texas driver fighting, we can go call the political party to come for you. To come to your rescue. So it's just so bad though. But anyway, you help us share the show. Happy birthday again, Mr. Conan. Yes, so many things, like I said from the beginning of the show, so many things happening. Indeed, Liberia is very, very busy. We have a lot of things going on in our society, in our country, the economy. Our president waiting the House of Representatives, or in fact the legislature, that they should come back because something needs to be done. They have to they have some unfinished business that you want them to do. We'll also read that also in the business. The president also talk about the additional printing of new banknotes. Also, additional, they will be adding. Yeah, I mean they'll be printing additional banknotes that will also be discussed with our legislature as to whether how much will be there. Also, but again, around the world, so many things happening around the world. Donald Trump and all of the Iranian government, they're back to back. So many things to talk about. Also from the world news, we hope that Mo will be here with us so that you'll be able to give us some of the play-by-play, because there are a lot of us who are having some of the mixed information, this information and that information. Even though Donald Trump talk about civilization, yeah, the whole civilization will likely end tonight. That means, let me tell some of you who are running with some of the misinformation that, oh, Donald Trump said Iran will not exist anymore. No. You know what Donald Trump is saying? I'm not talking about civilization. I just talking about shower. People, look, most of the countries, the people, they use technology. They don't even see water. Some of them even when they're doing things, there are things that sort of buttons, and this thing happen or work by energy. So that what Donald Trump talking about civilization and the end of civilization, that means darkness. They will be laying janto, I know how we can call it, janto lantern, or what you may call. So what you were trying to say. But anyway, Brother Ali is here. Let me do the share. Somebody say I must stop. No, but that's the thing. Benjamin, what's up, man? Mama, you gotta come on the show. Why you keep shying away from the show? And Benjamin, you have to sometimes come on the show. Benjamin, your usual American politics, some of all we done there, because I say American politics that I want to bring back here in Liberia, that I want to do here. No. We see the issues, we discuss the issues, and we say exactly what happened. But when it comes to your Democrat, Republican, it's up to you there on our side. You're we America, we like an issue with your Democrat and this and that. But I follow the world news and I understand most of the things that happen around the world. All of the things at the end of the day, people say, oh, maybe at the end of the day, America only want to take the people all. So the other people that have been dying for the past 30 years, 40 years, that one point made no sense. That only the old that makes. By the way, Brother Ali is here, Monk is here, my people. Let me welcome the two of you, Brother Ali first. Good evening, brother. What's up?
Good afternoon, Mayborn, or good afternoon, Mom. Good afternoon to our listening audience and followers. Glad to be here this afternoon.
Good. Mom. Dear brother Mom, what's up?
Well, I'm doing great. Share the show, guys. Today is what? Tuesday, right? We got Champions League coming up. I can't miss it. Real Madrid versus Bayern Munich. That will be an important match. And then tomorrow, my team will be playing. We got Liverpool. I will be playing Paris Saint-Germain, and it's not going to be easy. We are in the quarterfinal stages of the Champions League, the last 8, and then 4 will go. 4 is going to progress to the semi-final, and then we'll see. Then after that, we got a World Cup coming up during the summer, so we're going to be busy this year. It's a World Cup year, but it's great to be here. A lot happening. I saw some emergency declaration from the president. Liberia is a sad country, and every time we come here, ignorance is a bad thing, and people don't know exactly what's going on and how it's going to impact them. But we'll get to that. We'll read the president proclamation or whatsoever he's calling for an emergency session. When we had a border security issue where the security of the country were at risk, when we suggested that this president reconvene, no, he didn't do that, but he want to print money, so he calling for an emergency meeting. But anyway, an emergency or the reconvening of the legislature to come. I know he's going to bribe them to get what he wants because that's all they are good for. They are all criminals. He will throw money at them and get whatsoever he wants because at this stage, I don't want to go into that topic anyway. Let me slow down. It's too early to start that conversation right now, but a lot going on. Maybe you know what's happening in Iran at the moment.
Yes. So I thank you. That was I want us to even start with first with the issue of the U.S. and Iran because a lot of attentions have been drawn to that war, especially on tonight. What will be happening tonight? And I'm seeing thousands of Iranian citizens are already start lining up. I don't know what go ahead, man. They were interesting. If I lining up before they are applying, as you may call, right there in actually Iran. But go ahead, my brother.
Ali, you want to go first, or you want me to?
Go ahead, Mom. Go ahead.
Well, when you fight in conventional war, especially with another country, there are no rules. The most you want to do is to protect civilian target as much as possible. But you want to take down major infrastructure. You see bridges, you see tunnel, you see electrical grid. It put pressure. That's why you see Guinea telling you that they got technical issue on their side of the border because you cannot be fighting your enemy. Electricity is very important. It helps the economy. It helps your enemy as well in terms of moving logistics and stuff. So, and Donald Trump said you are going to obliterate them and send that civilization back. They got people that started screaming, "Oh, war crime!" I said, but what happened to the other country that Iran is bumping their power grid? Why you cannot charge them for war crime? Because like I said, we got two group of folks here. We got a group that support the president, and we got a group that want for that war to end up bad off. Let me tell you something, Mabel. That pilot that was safe, that went 7,000 feet above sea level to get himself to high in the mountains until he was rescued by U.S. forces. We got people here that were praying for him to be captured because they wanted him killed. What we saw in Libya, where they dragged 4 American bodies in the street. That's what Dominka was hoping for. They were salivating. But as God could have it, that guy was rescued. So that's a whole different thing. So when you watch the mainstream media here, they present the news, they twist the angle in a way that you think Iran is the one winning this war. And people don't understand. Like I said, Iran is a radical theocracy. When you go back to 1988 to 1989, when the war between Iran and Iraq was happening, you know what the Iranian did? They use human shield. They took children. How do you go into a war with another country? You take women and children and put them before a military force as a human shield. And they were killed in their tens of thousands. That's something that this regime did. So when I saw people forming like a human chain around a power ground like this, and that screams to me, Iran have a history of doing this. That's why they will look at women and children and go and put them and draw like a human ring around a power plant. So I saw some lawmakers, some Democratic lawmakers talking about if Donald Trump attacked the power grid, they will trigger the 25th Amendment to impeachment. So, Donald Trump let them make fun of the Democrats. Donald Trump knew that every president in U.S. history that went to war attacked another country power grid. Lyndon B. Johnson did it in northern Vietnam. When Bill Clinton carried war to Serbia, he obliterated the power grid, the electrical supply was the first thing he did. Even George Bush died in Operation Desert Storm 1991 in Iraq. The first thing he did was to bomb the Iraqi electrical power plant. So how Donald Trump attacking another country power plant become a war crime? But anyway, that is stupidity we get to face for now with the other side of the politically in this country. So for me, I don't worry about that. But back to Liberia, and we got a lot of things going. But we talk about the president or suggestion of a banknote. I mean, the printing of new banknotes. And the reason behind that, because I cannot see it from an economic standpoint.
So we'll go to that, Mark. Hold on, Mark. So let's hear from Brother Ali 211 News. We'll come back to Liberia. Don't worry, my dear brother. We've been talking more about Liberia forever so long. But because a lot of attentions, our people too, like you just said not too long. People, the media have their own side. The media too, they play that major roles into some of the things. Like one of the journalists, like Donald Trump said last evening during a press conference that one of the, in fact, media of the accused of leaking information, sensitive security information, and that journalist should be held accountable as to how you get that information. So I'll also be asking, but let me ask Brother Ali his take on the entire U.S.-Iran war, because it's now getting out of hand. Because after 10 days, Iran they are still, So, Brother Ali, what say you?
Thank you there, Mabon. The problem about this Iran war, I don't really know. It's almost like, you see, what's happening in Liberia is almost a similar thing that happening in America here now. When the Unity Party was in opposition, there are things that they said that was bad. And today they are doing this thing where you talk and then they start to insult instead of them discussing the issue. They feel so entitled to that they are the people that can do things that nothing supposed to come from all of it. Because when I see the way sometimes Democrat, that's my party, the way they do things, I can just be thinking the same way Unity Party can do things, like they feel so entitled to that they are the only one that's supposed to do things, nobody should question them. They see Iran, this country has been the #1 country supporting terrorists in the world. Every day they say that there is no peace in the Middle East, there is no peace in the Middle East. You get one country that threatening the whole world, intimidating people, supporting terrorists, and nobody could see what they can do for them to put stop to this. Like this one time when Kamala Harris was asked, and she said, no, Iran are #1 country that will be on her list if she become president, because why they get American blood on their hand. Everything that these people did. And today we see what President Trump is doing. Even the Iranian, some of them, they are in full support. This man, you saw how he just killed people in that country just for protesting for what he was doing, the way he holding his own people. But today, they try to put stop to all of these things, building of nuclear weapon. All of these things are supposed to be happening. Of country building nuclear weapon and things, intimidating other countries, targeting other countries. Nobody can say anything. But today, Donald Trump, so everybody now going against him. And this is something that they couldn't do.
Yeah.
You see, this is something that you couldn't do. Barack Obama was there. He gave Iran money. That money, I can say he was support. I call it like a support. Joe Biden, he did the same thing. President Trump, yes, he don't negotiate with terrorists. And just like what Mon said, other president did it. It was nothing. But when Donald Trump do it, it should become something. Why? You don't do this. Let's try to put the interests of America above political party or any other thing. Let's support President Trump to make sure there should be peace in the Middle East. Let Iran come to the table. Let it do what he wants them to do. That they shouldn't build no nuclear weapon no more. Let it make the world to understand that this is what he wants. How long we have to come and say, okay, we cease fire and we'll come to a table, we sign a deal that we will never and ever build nuclear weapon no more in our life. Easy as that. But
Somebody got feedback.
They don't want to do it. But then you want Donald Trump to allow them to just end the war like that and come and sit back, then they start building nuclear weapon again to intimidate people in the world, to destabilize the whole Middle East. Are you people in your right mind? They had to stop that. And we pray for our men and women in arms, and we pray that the president's objective will be met on this mission.
Well, thank you, Brother Aliu. Let me also agree with you, even though I'll be asking Monk on the UN, because I've seen the United Nations 1 hour ago, they just posted something about rules when it comes to war. But again, I'll be Monk, Monk, but Ali said something about peace, and that's the right thing. For me, I'm still confused. Why would the government who claim that? So I don't get it. So where is the law for their country? Where is the law for their people that they will sit there and they will allow the other people outside of the country to come and destroy their power plant, or to even destroy things that will benefit the livelihood of the people, just to satisfy a few group of people in the name of, oh, they are the one that want. Why are they fighting for the? For me, I'm still confused into all of these things. Because if you claim that you love, yeah, more. Because it makes no sense to me that if you claim that you love your country and you love your people, the war is not internal. No. And the reason why people keep calling on you to say, don't do this. This thing is causing trouble for other countries around you. It's not good. But you still saying no, you will do what you want to do. Then when you talk with other people and they build nuclear weapons, you lead the. So when everybody build nuclear weapons in this war, then are we not destroying the war?
Yeah. Most especially the one that support terrorists. Not even
I don't get it. Look at Nigeria right here, us here. I think they're going Easter again. I saw something yesterday morning. They're going Easter, another group of people kill another group of people just for no reason.
Yeah, when Donald Trump go there, then we'll say this thing are happening. Nobody get the balls to say how they can go Nigeria to see how they can stop that. Nobody will say, hey,
I can be thinking why people will ever sit down and they be pretending like just because of politics, you sit down and think you're looking at wrong. So the way terrorists killing people here and there is good.
I mean, maybe welcome Mr. Tishu. Let he come in, then we'll go back to it, and then maybe the second half we'll do the labyrinth of the story, because it's so much happening. Yeah. Mr. Tishu, you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Go ahead. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, I will say hi to the panelists, maybe. I see this differently because I normally talk from a geopolitical point of view. I think America made a mistake in going into this war. From my point of view, they are supporting the Israelis. And Benjamin, the head of Israeli government, have been trying for 40 years. He has been trying to get at the Iranians, saying that they had this nuclear thing that they were trying to put up. Well, what I saw from that, when Monk talked about the first Iranian war, what happened was that when that war started, the Iranians had different people that left their country. And these people left and went to different parts of the world, and they had developed splinter groups within that setting. The Iranians are the Sunnis. That's why when the man from Iraq, Saddam Hussein, contested against the Shah government, they are from the Sunnis, and those are the ones that can agree with the people from the West. The other group, the Iranians, they are special kind of Muslims that do not participate outside of the religion. And that particular group is what is happening right now, that when the world had formed itself and the Arab people came together, Iran was left out. So what Iran did was that they strengthened themselves. They prepared themselves 40, 50 years ago for this war that is happening today. They had prepared themselves. America went into this war not having much intelligence. The intelligence that came from the Mossad told them was not factual. a lot of mistakes have been made and a lot of things happening for the future that it has embarrassed the American and the Israeli government. So what is happening right now is that of all the embassies, because I go through different channels to get facts of what is happening. And all the embassies, the Iranian embassies around the world, putting up posters mocking Donald Trump. Donald Trump got pissed off because at his press conference yesterday or today, which I watched, there was a question posed to him that people said that he crazy. And he didn't want to answer that question. He got mad because those were the posters being put out from the different embassies of the Iranian government, posting that Trump would chicken out and they would not give up. And Trump went to Trump's head, and that he said that I think today or tomorrow he's going to bomb the whole of Iran. Now, the question is that within the own setting within America, if people are talking about war crime, I heard Mom talking about war has no rule. War has rule, Mom. War has rules. Well, you kill civilians and you target things for the civilians. Oh yeah, war, you can bomb them. But the aftermath from the Geneva Convention will purchase you as war crimes. So these are some of the things that we have to look out and talk about in the future. So I can't take up more time. I just give a synopsis of what I have been observing in a few days. Thank you.
Okay. Well, thank you, Mr. Tishu. I don't know whether more have question because myself I have question.
I just wanted to rebuff the point that he made about the rule. I didn't say war doesn't have rules. I said there are international conventions that govern war. In the case of a country and a country threatening, when you talk about bombing another country nuclear power plant, that is not a war crime. Past the U.S. president did it. Bill Clinton bombed the power plant in Serbia. George Bush did it in Iraq, 1991 Operation Desert Storm. Lyndon B. Johnson did it in Northern Vietnam. You cannot be threatening an enemy and give them legislation. That's just common sense. That's one. The problem is the media is selling the war against this president because they are antagonistic to the man who's executing the war. The thing is, Democrats don't hate war. Democrats love war. But they hate the guy that is executing the war because previous presidents were so naive. They don't know what he's doing. Here is my thing. 20% of the world petroleum passes through the Strait of Hormuz, an international waterway. One country went and blocked it. That's not a war crime. You know how many countries depend on electricity from that Strait of Hormuz? From South Korea to Japan to the whole of Europe. Oh, no, that is not a war crime. But if you bomb an electrical power plant in Iran, tell me, Melbourne, what kind of sense does that make? That one country can look at an international waterway and block it and disrupt the whole global economy in terms of electricity or power supply. But when you bomb your electrical grid, then it amounts to war.
Like, and that's a question that was a question I've been thinking about asking Mr. Dishu and maybe
like I said, anything about Donald Trump is kryptonite to an average liberal. They can't think when you mention the name Trump. They got a name for it. They call it Trump derangement syndrome. Wherein when Donald Trump is doing something, then somehow the liberal minds cannot even work. That's just why it is. Like I said, Iran bombed Qatar, they bombed Bahrain, the UAE, the fertilizer plant. No, that is not a war crime. You target the electrical grid in Iraq, and Donald Trump is crazy. He's doing something that has never been done before, so he needs an impeachment. Let me tell you something, Melbourne. Like I said, they're talking about mental stability. You know, Trump can do this thing directly to just get them mad. The last president in America that never for psychological and cognitive test was Joe Biden. A Parkinson's disease specialist visited him 8 times in the White House. That was proven. They had it from the American people until a national debate where the whole world was watching. And he embarrassed and said they had to take me out of the race. So I don't listen to liberals because liberals don't use logic. They use emotion and the media. That's something that I've studied over the past 10 or 12 years. That's just who they are. A president, and every president will go through a physical and a cognitive test. But the only person on the record that never did that was the guy who just left office. The only place the American people got to know that the president wasn't mentally stable was a national debate The biggest embarrassment to America in recent time, when the whole war was watching, they had to force him off the ticket and put Kamala Harris there to run for president. That's how bad it is. But I will stop there for now. Anyway, let's continue the discussion. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah, so let me ask Mr. Tishu. Mr. Tishu, I listened to you quietly. For me, I don't want us to go to all of the Facebook posts about Donald Trump like this. No, let's just go straight to the main issues that have to do with it. Because all of the things that what I like about Donald Trump is always posting, reacting, talking, and everything. And that's the best way to go so that people can be informed. So Donald Trump's entire request is open that area. Whether you call him this, whether you do this, it's not his concern. His concern is let that place be open so that other people who have their ships, who have everywhere to pass, so that they can free their path. So, Mr. Tishu, let me ask you this question. Do you think that it was necessary for Iran to close that area?
Well, I got a different point of view again. I don't know how much information that y'all collect, but I collect from different areas. The bombing of the areas that Mount talked about was never done first by the Iranians. The Iranians were retaliating. I will send the videotape to Mabon, so you'll be able to ascertain exactly what I'm saying. All of the attacks, when America said that they were going to bomb a certain area in Iran, Iran would send a message saying that they will retaliate on the Americans. So whatever happened, it had been happening from retaliation. Bombing the petrol place, it was because the Americans bombed the petrol place there in Jola. Jola is a place where they make the petrol chemical. That means to say the gas and different things that will be shipped to Europe and stuff like that. That place was bombed. The retaliation of that, the Iranian bombed the place there in Saudi Arabia and tried to get to their own a gas thing to damage it. So all have been from retaliation. Now, when we talk about the strip of Haman, everybody in the world has a trump card. And that particular area is not in the American area. America is far, far, far away from that particular place. Far away is not the terrain. It's the Arab people terrain.
The people are close because of the war now. No, I'm saying.
Listen, yeah, I'm trying to give you the point. The place was closed because the war started. And that particular area was an area that everybody from Europe, Africa was getting the oil being transported through that particular strip. But that particular strip is not owned by the Western world. It's owned by the Arab people. They are in control. So when America put the war on them, they felt that the only means of having equilibrium with themselves is to have that place shut down, or they will cause chaos within that place for America to come out with peace talk. And America refused to come out with peace talk. They demand that they were going to open up the strip. They came to the European Union, they asked, and the European Union did not give them help. They went to China, China did not give them help. So nobody had given them help. That's why I'm saying I don't know what information that you're getting, because what I'm learning.
Mr. Tishu, quickly, because even not too long, I think the UN were having some kind of voting process and so forth. I'm also getting a report that China and that Russia also voted against that place being open like that. In fact, so I don't know what that's.
What is happening is that they asked for 200 billion. The insurance company asked for 200. I think I told you the first time about it, maybe $200 billion for the insurance for the ships to pass through. Now, the European Union and other countries said that they were not going to put up that 200 billion. So what America did was that America said they had 178 billion to give to the insurance company. That when ships pass there and they're being bombed, the insurance company will go home to take over. But afterwards, the insurance company denied it because they felt that it was too much It was too much for them to handle. They could not handle such a kind of high risk. The risks were too high.
Mm-hmm.
And that money was not going to be sufficient if they were going to go into the deal. So that deal went off. So America had been fighting hard to get the Europeans to bring in the war, to bring in the ships, or to coordinate with the Americans. The Europeans saying, you went to war without asking us. That was a big thing.
Yeah,
If America had asked the Europeans and had asked the neighboring countries, they would have had some balance.
To that, Mr. Dishu, to that, we saw all of the things, even to the extent that the UK have to have some correlation. They were a little bit confused. We followed all of these things, Mr. Dishu. We don't want to go into most of these things because they will eat most of our time. So we don't want to do it short because all of things that you're talking about, at the end of the day, that Donald Trump said the entire Europe, they're the ones that are benefiting from that entire end because in other shape that pass through, they're the ones that benefit. But let's move back to the issue of Iran now opening up because even Iran also start to fight other countries around them. Mr. Dishu, let's agree that America use ship. America use their airplanes or their bombing ship or so forth to go to you to go and fight. If you want to fight America back, why can't you use your own ship, your war thing you think that you have, to also go to America land and go and fight? For me, some of these things we just get everything so confused. America go to your country, you just said that America is still distant, America far, according to you. Then how can America travel all that long distance to go to Iran to go and fight? Then Iran sitting there and instead of them retaliating, maybe in the best interest that they think that they were prepared for, they start to attack other countries that were near them or in fact that also around them. Why that happening?
Okay, if you understand the geopolitics of it, all the Arab nations that are not Sunni are the ones that have the American bases around Iran. So Iran said, okay. Iran had warned them. I said, I will send you all the tips. Iran said, if you bomb us, we'll bomb your area. That means to say the American base, the American embassy, the American places within the different areas. That's where they were going to target. So they said it before these things happened. So America had taken caution. You know, you're on one track, but others would think differently. If I'm having my mother in the embassy in Saudi Arabia, working at the embassy in Saudi Arabia, and my president is giving such a kind of procurement that if anything happens, we'll come and bomb Iran. And Iran is telling them, if you bomb us, we'll bomb your embassy there, we'll bomb your places there, we'll bomb your different areas within our range. So do not do it. America did it, and they themselves started retaliating, bombing the American embassy, going to the air bases of the Americans, going to where Americans had all the protective gears. That's where they were targeting. And the areas were in the Saudi Arabian setting. So that is what happened. So I want you to understand it from that particular point. That because the American bases, the American embassies, the American things are within the settings of around Iranian territory, that is why they're doing these things here for America to stop, because they cannot send their own bomb way over to America. I say America mistake.
Well, they can carry all of their water that they think that they have, because all of these things.
No, maybe it don't work like that. It don't work like that.
Well, let me stop you a little bit. You see, I want to get a senior fellow a lot of time. You know, I enjoyed the conversation and he struck a lot of points. Again, he getting some of the facts wrong. The reason American forces are concentrated in the Middle East, because after United States get off the gold standard in 1971 under Richard Nixon, we pegged our U.S. currency to the petrodollar. And most of the Gulf Arab states, they produce oil and gasoline. That's why America built bases over there. Because when Saddam Hussein went and invaded Kuwait, the Saudis were afraid that they were going to be the next group because they having one of the largest oil reserves. So America went and built the biggest military base in the Middle East in Saudi Arabia. So when the other Arab countries saw, they said, oh, but we need your protection too. So the Bahrain, the Oman, the Qatar, every one of them welcomed the U.S. to establish bases in those countries. So, and he said something about Arab country. Iran is not an Arab country. That's why they're not part of the Arab League. Iran is a Persian nation. They don't speak Arabic, they speak Farsi, Mr. Dishu. That's a whole different thing they're talking about. The Iranian, they are mostly Shia. And the Sunnis group, they are the one that told the U.S. government to build military because America understands that our economy rests on the Middle East as well. Before we could get energy independence today, that we started producing more oil than Russia and Saudi Arabia, the vast majority of our oil were coming from the Middle East. And how do you protect your flow of oil? Is to establish military bases over there to make sure you get your supply chain coming to you. That's how America established bases. So technically, what you are saying, Iran is retaliating. So if Liberia and Sierra Leone is in a war, so it gave Liberia a license to go to Africa and disrupt, it gave them to black waterway or river, that's what you are literally saying, which is unfair. It cannot be a retaliation. That have been the leverage Iran have used to cajole other U.S. presidents, and that's why they always used to be afraid of, because their fear was when there is disruption of oil in the Middle East, it will impact the U.S. economy. So when they want to knock Iran, Iran said, no, you try it, we will block the Strait of Hormuz. So when Donald Trump came, Donald Trump did it in reverse. He forced lawmakers to give him more permit to drill more oil on U.S. soil, so we cannot depend on the oil coming from the Middle East. That's why today the Strait of Hormuz is not important to the U.S., only the Europeans and the Asians, because America has transitioned from being energy reliant to energy dependent. That's why Donald Trump went into the EU. That waterway is an international waterway, and you guys are the one that depend on it. So if we go into war, it's a responsibility to secure the waterway, because for us, we can get our oil from anywhere. We don't need oil from the Middle East anymore. Those days are gone. We have transitioned from that. So Europe got more stake in the Iranian war than America, because what Donald Trump is saying, you always accuse America, oh, any war in Ukraine is American war. So Donald Trump said, okay, if you believe that the war between Russia and Ukraine is our responsibility, then it's your responsibility to go to the Middle East and protect an international waterway. That's why they call common sense. And that's why most of them cannot accept. That's just the reality. So Trump is saying, I have no interest over there. You guys are the one. If you cannot find a solution to this, then you will be the one to carry the biggest burden. America no longer rely on Middle Eastern oil. So if you cannot protect your own oil passage, then it's on you. So that's it. That the game we're playing is a cat and mouse game.
But the problem, when we say Iran is trying to retaliate by bumping other countries like bumping Qatar, Kuwait, all of these places, even bumping their airport, America control or Dubai airport, Qatar, these places, then do you find America bases to the airport? They're bumping all of these places. Like one said, there were other presidents who went to war and they bombed the people, electrical grid and things. All of these things they did it. But Donald Trump were happy. Look, if these people they cannot come to a deal, let's see what's going to happen tomorrow morning. We will make sure there will be peace in the Middle East. Iran, they will come to a deal. They will,
there are a lot of military action now.
never ever build a nuclear weapon in the world. Because this is why they refuse. They cannot say that. Because these people, just how they were doing it every night, then they say, we will bomb American bases on the side. We will do this. We will bomb America. They go, they give them money. They want to continue the same thing. And this will be the end. After this war, Iran will never threaten people or bombing their places. They will never talk about building nuclear weapons.
Ali, let me come in before I can work on AB. I just want to make, you know what the Iranians are doing? Iranians follow history. They learned from North Korea. It was the same nonsense America did with North Korea until they became a nuclear power to threaten the Korean Peninsula. When previous presidents from Kim Jong-un, their grandfather to the father before the son, little rocket man, every time America thought they were using this policy of appeasement, we were getting money, we were getting kerosene, we were getting oil, just so they can abandon the nuclear program. But guess what? North Korea was secretly building that nuclear program on the ground. They are the ones that even helping the Iranians to start building in mountains, because every country in the world that signed up to a nuclear proliferation treaty, we got rules and regulations that govern nuclear proliferation. Matter of fact, there were countries that even gave away that nuclear power just to be under American protection. But the Iranians say, okay, if the North Korean could invade America, and fool them under the developed nuclear weapon, we will do the same thing. That's why when UN Inspector General go to investigate, they won't carry them to the site. They will kick them out of the country. They will keep playing games until they believe The same trick the North Korean used to become a nuclear power, that's why they can duplicate to get a nuclear weapon. But it's not going to happen this time because America herself learned her lesson from North Korea. We were giving them money, we were giving them food, we were giving them kerosene, we were giving them fuel oil with the expectation that they were going to abandon that nuclear program. But guess what? At the end of the day, they now sit on nuclear weapon. That's the same game Iran is trying to play. But it will not work with this president. That's why we voted for this president. It won't happen. Maybe when he leaves office, it might happen to another president. But on this guy, no, it can never. They won't get away. No condition. I turn it over, AB. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, guys. Let me say good afternoon, man. Good evening to the followers, both at home and abroad. I've been kind of following you guys a little bit. Let me say good afternoon to my dear brother Tishio. Fascinating topic, guys. But just to kind of delve into what you guys are discussing right now, is Israel part of the non-proliferation? Have they signed onto it? The answer is no.
No.
They have never signed. They have never signed onto it.
Yeah.
You have a nation of 100 million people against a nation that is less than what? A minute portion of that population, but they want to dictate everything in Middle East. Today, you're talking about America going into the Middle East. America put the whole world under the impression that Saddam Hussein had weapon of mass destruction. Where is it? Since 2003 up to now, you never find it. You put trillions of dollars in that particular war under false pretense, kill Americans, put American resources over there under false pretense that a nation was having weapon of mass destruction, and the evidence was completely proven on the contrary. You have another nation. They detect everything. When we want it this way, it must go that way. Israel is just like a city in Iran. They had deliberately refused for even simple inspection. At least to talk about signing on to the non-proliferation treaty. But it's telling you that, oh, we are democracy. So if we get a nuclear weapon, we can protect it. And Iran should sit there and allow. Look at what happened with Syria. Immediately, Assad got overthrown. Israel goes in that country willy-nilly and just bomb everywhere they want to bomb. A culture of impunity completely, and nothing happened. They have subordinated all of the neighboring countries over there. Now, you guys are talking about Iran bombing airports. Iran told you anywhere that people that are confronting us that have bases, military bases, they're not going after ordinary bases. They go to military bases. And maybe America had 350 million people. Iran got 1/3 of that population, or less than 1/3 of it. So obviously, they are thousands, but they didn't come looking for America to fight. So for you to say, oh, why the people can attack you, why you can't use other things, because they put that country on 43 years of sanction. They put them on 43 years of sanction. Iran don't have veto power at the United Nations. America had. America detect the plight of the world. So if it's not at equilibrium to say, oh, they may so long you say that we can fight it, whatever media they may use to counter your offenses, they will do it. It's a question of survival right now. You can't like Liberia dictating. Why you think Liberia find it difficult with Guinea right now? It's because Guinea have power more than Liberia. Maybe that's just an example for you. All of the things Guinea come to invade Liberia is because Guinea got military power more than Liberia.
And about negotiating. So the best way is for you to negotiate.
Negotiate
Why you don't want to negotiate?
What are they negotiating? The people negotiate.
Like you are negotiating, like we're not fighting because we understand that if I want to go to war.
If the people go to negotiation, you lead them there and kill our leaders. What do you expect? What do you want them to do? You kill all their leaders. Even for instance, look at Qasem Soleimani. He flew to Iraq just on the same peace process for the conflict in the Middle East. He flew to Iraq. By the time he got to Iraq, they followed him over there to kill him with drones. Qasem Soleimani, they killed him with drones in Iraq. He was not a battlefront. So I mean, how do you expect the guys to live? So they will be hiding for the rest of their generation. Even if the man want to produce something for himself, say, no, you can't do it. But then you have a nation that dictating to you that want it this way, you must do it. Expose yourself for inspection, no. Sign under the non-proliferation treaty, no. But then they must dictate to other people how they must live their life. It's an unfair situation, guys. But I know this is this.
No, but you left. I wanted for you to learn, but you left an important point.
Mm-hmm.
The reason Israel is not part of the nuclear proliferation, you left that part of that was a major point. The nuclear proliferation was signed 1968. That's when all the countries started developing. Israel was nuclear power before the nuclear proliferation treaty was signed. That's a big difference.
Come again?
When America used nuclear weapons for the first time in human history during World War II against the Japanese cities, we never had too many nuclear power with the exception of Russia and America. One of the first people that adopted a nuclear bomb were the Israelis. They came out with a nuclear bomb. And the nuclear proliferation treaty was signed after Israel became a nuclear power. So countries after 1968, like people like Ukraine, people like South Korea, other countries that gave it a nuclear weapon, they did it only after the proliferation was signed. But Israel was already in possession of nuclear weapon before we signed nuclear.
They have never. There's no public admittance.
So that's a big difference.
No, Monk. There is
no. There's a difference.
No. Listen. There is no. Show me the record that Israel have admitted. Even forget about they have admitted that we in possession of it. It's nowhere. Besides, it doesn't matter when last we had it. It's the question of you exposing yourself to it. Oh yeah, simple inspection. Do you have this thing? You will say this is nothing to talk about. They have never admitted it. There's no record for that. And, so that's my point here. The playing field should be level. You cannot have this guy here. You put the sanction for 43. Immediately the people took power in 1979. That's from that day up to today's day, you have sanction on them.
Okay. Well, I see it from another angle.
Yeah.
Let me back off to what Mom was talking about the petrodollar. Now, what is happening, the mistake America have made, and things have changed, and they are very nervous, is that the oil that's passing through now, the Iranians ask that everybody pay in the Chinese money. That is a big threat to the American economy. And we're hearing on different stations here, because I go to different stations and I get information and report on the reality of what is happening. Everybody that's passing through that strip right now, that being successful, they are paying in the Chinese yuan. And the economy of America, the dollars dropping, and the yuan are getting stronger. And America will never survive cause that war, because the petrodollar from the Arab state, which the agreement was that anybody that buy oil will buy it in dollars. And the dollars not working right now in the short space of time. The dollars are dropping because those who passing through are paying in the Chinese yuan. So I don't understand what is happening in America. Have been talked that they're talking about it from the European side here, that we're trying to get a means of getting our own oil and stuff like that. We have made negotiation with the Iranians also to get our own thing, but they're asking us to pay in the Chinese money. So that's where the little bit conflicting things coming from. The Europeans want to pay in their own money that they will be able to convert it. So they're having a conference, and they'll see how best they're going to fit it. America boasted to the world that they were not going to get oil from nobody. Like Monk said, that they're asking Alaska and other areas to produce more oil for them. But they only have 200 million barrels as reserve. And they told the world that if the war started, they were going to share the oil, and they were only going to share 170-something million barrels out. But how long that was going to last? That was when they looked into it again, they thought the war was going to be a short 4-day, 5-day war, which they were going to use that implementation of sharing the oil or whatever they have with the war until they can cover up. But the war had expanded, and that promise have been invaded from the attack and stuff that go on, and nobody can respond because there is no fix to this particular thing right now. The Iranians are taking a position, and we're waiting tonight to see whether America is going to bomb the whole of Iran. And I believe that Trump is making a mockery out of himself again, because he have been seeing this in the last 7-8 days. So the last 7-8 days, every time he gave them 1 or 2 days, the last time he gave them 10 days. The 10 days have passed, and he's still coming, he's still promising. So that's why the embassies around, the Iranian embassies around the world, mocking him, telling him that what he's saying, he cannot do it. If he do it, they're going to do the same with Saudi Arabia. They're going to do the same thing with Kuwait, and everywhere. They're going to send a bomb and destroy the whole of Kuwait and the whole of Saudi Arabia. So the news hit America last night, and they said, they went into a meeting, said, okay, if you bomb those people area, and those people happen to come and bomb us, so it's a problem. So what happened right now, the Arab world have been supporting America in billions and billions of dollars. They want to stop their support because they believe that America cannot give them that protection anymore. This is an example of the protection of why America should be giving them. America cannot protect them. This is a plain fact. You see? So with these things, with these revelations, they believe that even Russia is much stronger, because Russia is the one that giving Iran the intel to bomb the different areas in Israel and stuff like that. America went and made a bigger mistake.
Let's transition to Liberia.
America went and made a bigger mistake. The oil embargo that they had on Russia. Trump went and opened the oil embargo to give Russia more money again.
Let's transition, guys.
Mr. Dishu, let's just make the entire conversation a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't want, we have other people who have.
Let's transition to Liberia, guys.
Even though Mr. Dishu, we're going to hear more from you, but you already taking side, because if it's not taking the road that way, then we will now think that you father,
So when the media, maybe when the media side, you want to make things start? Stop that thing.
No, I have no side.
But you just say you not this side.
No, for me, I have no side. The only issue then is that all we need is I want to have an issue with the leadership.
Man, somebody getting feedback. Somebody messing the whole broadcast, or somebody got a feedback on that radio or something about it. One person.
You think so?
Yeah. Yeah, somebody got to double check either the guy or another.
I'm doing myself right now.
It is coming from Lee, but he just muted and say stop. Oh, it's still going on.
It coming from me.
Ben, what's up? Ben, welcome.
Hey, what's up, man? How are you guys doing, man? Thanks for having me.
Refugee man, how you doing?
Yeah, the panelist, Mr. DC, took a lot of stuff from my mouth. One of the most important one was the issue about where the oil is being what monetary Iran now is using to sell the oil. Maybe China is more affected than anybody in that area. So why is it China not fighting? Do you know why China not fighting? Over it? Because China is playing big game. Because now Iran is they're not selling oil in US dollars. So it becomes a problem for the US, and China is benefiting. Everything the longer the thing goes on, China benefits, and it's not the US. So these are big games playing on both sides. There's not going to be a winner yet. Everybody at the end got to take a loss and then settle down. Nobody's going to win this thing. There will be no winner yet. People will talk here and say, "Oh, nobody going to win." They got to sit down and you draw back, because people say, "Well, then why are they attacking the other guys who are not attacking them like the other politicians said?" You have bases there where you are using to fight me. That's why Spain said, no, you can't use my base. Australia said, no, you can't use my base. Because allowing someone to use a base is, and it means that that person is already part of the whole issue. That's why the other people are not agreeing. Europe should be more eager to say, let's go and stop this thing. But again, because this is bigger than what we all can see just on the facelift here. It is where these are big games played.
Yeah. So Ben, when you say this is bigger, are you sensing maybe a game been played on the ground, maybe somebody, maybe Russia or maybe China, are they playing games?
Oh, Russia, China, and America, they're all playing games. Right now, there was a resolution at the UN in less than 10 minutes ago. Do you know who blocked it? China and Russia.
Exactly.
Why? These are the people who don't have oil. But you know why they are blocking it? They're blocking it because they know that the other guys on the side are making. Because if the American money will not make money through the crude oil, it becomes a win for Russia and China. So the game here is big. It's been played by these big countries every time, and they use these small countries as a means to destroy themselves.
Wow. All right. Yeah. But AB, Ben said there'll be no winner, but at the end of the day, there'll be a lot of losers, especially Iran. Yeah.
Maybe we have seen the movie before. All you're going to get from this kind of conflict is massive destruction. See what has happened after America spent trillions of dollars in Iraq. Today, they got no grip on Iraq right now. They have pulled all of their troops from Iraq. They got no control over Iraq anymore. The bases they had, they are pulled from all of those bases. So we have watched this movie. Millions and millions of lives got destroyed on a forced pretense. So you're going to have the same thing here. At the end of the day, there will have to be some kind of resolution here. My thing is this, when India and Pakistan have similar situation, in the final analysis, the two countries became nuclear nations. So from there, nobody confronting anybody again. But if you're gonna have a situation where somebody will be sitting somewhere that willy-nilly America get fly over him, kill all his leader there and go by his business, and nothing happened, and you tell me that he must disarm himself totally, it is a problem. No sovereign nation should ever take that. Case in point, that's what we're facing with Liberia today, maybe. So for me, I would be a black man not to see, because the dish of a nuclear weapon, maybe, is not even going to be narrowed to that Gulf enclave alone. It'll be a global catastrophe that anybody would ever imagine. So to threaten that will obliterate. By the way, Asia is just 1%. The population, Asia is under 10 million. And you got a country that is 100 million people. You understand me? So if you're going to obliterate 100 million people for the interest of 10 million people, then so be it. But for me, I would just completely advocate in this direction that we will have total peace. There could be amicable resolution to a lot of things where people can peacefully disarm some of these bad things so that the entire enclave, you can't get one nation with nuclear weapon and the rest of the people ain't got nothing anymore. Just sit there. And then you put it under the guy, the nation is a democracy. It's the only democracy in the Middle East. So you got to deal with that. It's wrong. Wrong is wrong, baby. Wrong is wrong. That's my only position.
Well, wrong is wrong. Mr. Dishula, go back to regime change. Do you also support that? Because these are some of the calls that have been coming from Donald Trump for ever so long that indeed they want the regime to be changed because of terrorism, because of terrorist acts. They've been supporting a lot of terrorists around, especially in the Middle East. Do you support regime change?
Well, that was the first talk that Donald Trump brought up and was accepted by the world because the Iranian government were murdering their own people and was accepted. But what happened was that when the people closed the internet there in Iran and was no communication from the outside world, it became a big problem. What Israel did was that they convinced Donald Trump, because it's two persons that brought up the whole war, Benjamin and my man Donald. You know, Benjamin from his personal greed against the Iranian, and Donald Trump because he said the people made an attempt on killing him one time, so that propelled the both ideas to go into war with the people who are consenting with nobody else. They felt that the war was going to be shut. Now the surprise of it had changed. From helping the people, if you're going to bomb the people and bomb everything, the water plant and everything, how you think the people are going to survive? That's what being discussed in the UN setting, you know, about war crime. If you're going to bomb the infrastructure that is supposed to help the people like hospitals and the water tank and all of that, if you're going to bomb those things, then I'm going to say you're not helping the people that you want to bring back into their own setting. You know, you're setting them back. So that is why the agreement went against America, and America not seeing it from that particular point. So it had failed. It had failed to go on to something else. Then he changed it that the people were acquiring nuclear weapon. He changed it again. He had changed it more than 4 or 5 times. You'll go on the news and check these things here, starting from the beginning of the war. How many times he had changed the reason why he brought up the war. So he's not telling the truth, you know, and that's why made the Europeans didn't agree with him, because he had consulted them. They were going to go into a plan, but he was using one-man power. You know, America is it. America is it, and we will do it as we will. That's what brought the whole war, and that's what had messed the war up. And America will regret. We're all regretting it in Europe right now. All the prices of everything gone up. But we're surviving because we're trying to make way with Norway. We got some oil and stuff like that to supply the European side. Like how it happened during the Ebola time. They help us a lot. Nigeria is making big money right now. The Nigerian man that selling the airplane gas right now. He's the biggest ball right now around the world. You know? So all of the small companies that were not prospering, they're picking up because people go into them in a short space of time and they're getting the dollars and things out of them. So that's my saying on it, Mabel.
Thank you, Mr. Diju. I don't know what about AB icon. Yes. So let's go back to Ben. Ben, what's up with the?
Well, maybe I said for me, I'm done with that topic. Maybe if we can.
So yes, the last thing that I would say about that, is that, like I said, this thing, nothing good will come from out of it. Everybody will lose. But yes, another thing that I sometimes hear. Say, okay, hey, give out your nukes, and then we will protect you. You know that America signed an agreement with Ukraine long time ago. They told Ukraine, say give out all those nukes. Ukraine used to have the biggest nuke in Europe. You know what Ukraine did? Ukraine went and did exactly what they told them that they would do. Ukraine went to destroy all their nuclear power stations for defense. When Ukraine got attacked, you know how long it took American government to defend those people? So it's like when people sign an agreement with you, they expect you to live up to them. But it seems as though that this is not happening a lot of times, and there where people start losing trust in you. I'll stop right there.
You know, I like it when you guys get the information and give partial information. When U.S. told Ukraine to turn over, because it was Ukraine, it was South Korea, it was South Africa and other countries around the world that voluntarily gave all their nuclear weapon in exchange for American protection. With Ukraine, there was a condition that Ukraine cannot be part of NATO. The same way we say we cannot have other countries playing in America, the Monroe Doctrine, that you cannot play in America backyard. Ukraine is supposed to stay out of NATO, and Ukraine has always been pushing for NATO membership. That's where the problem is. If you want, what?
But they have not joined.
Well, that's why they keep attempting to do. That's why make the Russians have problem with them. Why you think Russia beyond Ukraine? Why you think every country break away from the Soviet Union, Russia never reacted with the exception of Ukraine? Because Russia is saying, no, give me a chance, because you get, like I said, you get partial information. Russia is saying Ukraine is in the belly of Russia. We cannot have our neighbor. The same thing we did during the Cuban Missile Crisis with Cuba. Russia cannot have nuclear weapon right in our backyard. That's the same thing the Russia is saying. Ukraine, if you want to be neutral, we don't have a problem with you. The moment you lean toward NATO, then it means you are inviting the enemy on our doorstep, and that will be a non-starter. And that's where the problem is with Ukraine. If Ukraine chooses to be neutral, trust me, Russia will not have a problem with them, my brother. So you got to balance it.
No, but yes, so
go ahead, because
the reason why I did not put that part. Look, I have the whole story. The reason why I did not include that is because Ukraine is not part of NATO, so it's still so between Ukraine and the United States, who is actually slacking up on the agreement. Ukraine has to come and beg. The president will come and beg America. They would disgrace him. This is not the agreement that was signed. Our president will come and beg you every time. The agreement was, we'll do these things, we'll give you protection. But now, see how this man have been humiliated time after time. You and I have seen it. So what make you think there are other nations who have these kind of bad things? What trust do they have that if we sign this kind of agreement, tomorrow you will have our backs? That's the problem the world is facing. It's like you can't be trusted. That's the problem.
America cannot be trusted when America supports 62% of the entire NATO budget, even though there are 32 countries in NATO. Who you think is able to give more guarantee to any NATO country? You think Europe or NATO can protect America? America and NATO, you think who can provide security for the friend? They're British. No, let me come in. You're talking about people, they got to come and humiliate. No, because he was warned, stay away from NATO. You are too closer to Russia than to be in NATO. Other countries are part of NATO. We don't have problem with that. That's why we're testing their loyalty. We got problem in the Middle East, and they won't even give us any backing. That's why the Iranian went and threw rocket into the island of Diego Garcia that is very close to the UK, even though they lied to you that their nuclear weapon range, their ballistic missile program only 2,000 miles. Diego Garcia is more than 4,000 miles away from Tehran, but they were able to shoot a rocket there. How you think they did it? And you guys stay here and support Tehran.
No, man. I tell you,
you folks, yeah.
No, Mom. That Diego Garcia thing was a false flag.
Oh, it's a false flag. So who shot it, right? It wasn't from Iran, right?
Israel did that. It was a false flag. First and foremost, let me tell you, Iran had never shied away from their responsibility. Indeed, let's transition. Let's transition. I know. That's about 4,000 miles away.
We are going to open the history books today because I was ready for that. But let's
let's transition. For another day. Maybe are you there? Yeah, I think we are muted here. What's going on? Hello?
Yeah, I'm not muted. Huh?
Mong, you there? Mong?
I think Mong they're having problem.
Mong is muted.
I think Mong. What about Aliu? You there?
Yeah, those two boys, the CIA got their phone, so they're afraid.
I think
Ali talking against the people. It surprised me. I don't know what kind of brainwash Trump had done with those boys. I don't know what that is up with me.
No, it's not a brainwash actually. The thing about it is just, until these things can be, when a thing is not done right from the very get-go, it's become very difficult to.
That is a fact. That is a fact. Yeah.
And, no, those things will not end at the battlefield. It has to be some kind of consensus that we reach that would try to mitigate some of these problems over there and eventually bring some sanity and peace to the region over there. But otherwise, it is a tough situation. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Amy. I don't know. I think Melbourne is off.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got something. I don't know if we get the time. We received a letter today from the executive mansion to the speaker for some emergency session that will last for 10 days. I think from the 9th of April to the 23rd of April. The president is calling our lawmakers back for an emergency session. We all know where it's all about. And they're talking about printing additional banknotes. They want to pass the supplementary budget and other matters of national urgency. We all know that's not national urgency. I know Yeke Koluba is on the docket. That's just why it's all about. But why do you make of it? Because we keep saying the same thing over and over. No country in the world. We have a global instability happening that no one can predict the outcome. We talk about inflation because of gasoline and petroleum around the world. Who in the right frame of mind will keep thinking about printing additional banknote? Note now will cause hyperinflation. Things will double. We can't even tell the outcome of the war in Iran. But this president is calling for the printing of additional banknote. What's your take on it? I just want to hear from you guys on this subject.
Yeah, Monk, you are so right. It's concerning. I saw that release, though I didn't never delve in the entirety of it. But paramount among the things that they will recall, the president recalling the legislative branch or the House of Representatives is that printing of new money. Mind you, Liberia is an import-based economy. You know, somebody said something before, and I don't easily agree with that person because of their politics and other things, but it says it makes a lot of sense. You know why? The keeper of the country's resources, money, is not an economist. The finance minister is not an economist. So they are not making economic decisions. The finance minister is an accountant by profession. The central bank governor is an accountant by profession.
Yep.
They are not economists to look at the graphs, especially in this time of economic downturn globally. And you're talking about printing more money. The fact of the matter is that when more money is infused in the economy, there is, especially on the exchange, you're going to have very little money being a lot of your money, and in no time the money becomes worthless. Because what are you importing? Oh, sorry, the phone is going some kind of way. I beg it. Look. Yes. Mom, thank you. What are you importing? I mean, exporting to make your currency viable. So the decision at this point in time, because the country is not plagued with mutilated monies right now, like how sometime back in the other regimes, and the Ellington, the Weirton, wherein there was a need to replace the mutilated monies. I'm not hearing that on the market. So if you're going to print a lot of money and infuse it in the economy, trust me, you're going to have a serious inflation in our country that it will become uncontrollable. So, I mean, that's my only take on it. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, you don't have the people that are looking at economic graph, both domestically and globally. That's all I would say on it, man. Because
go ahead, refugee man. Let me hear from you.
Let me just close on the man real quick.
Okay.
If you remember, a few months ago, the central bank and the finance minister employed a strategy trying to hold the few Liberian dollars that are on the market so that they could try to stabilize how the rate was going. But it did not help it either. Today you're talking about you can't keep holding the money. One of the guys that, you got shortage of Liberian dollars on the market, so predicated on that, you will have some stability on the rate. Today, the rate is, I think, about 180 something, or I don't know, 190 now, or whatever it is. So it's a tough decision, but maybe they know that reason. They're going to give it, because if you're going to call the legislative branch and you have public discussion on it, and where economists going to come in and deliberate some of those things, maybe then there'll be an eye opener to the Liberians and say, this is a need, why we should print new money at this point in time. But let me let the others come in,
man. Economics is my weakest point in life, so I'm not going to say much about it. But let's say the issue, if that thing, calling those guys back, I'm praying for one thing to happen. If Yeka is on the docket, I pray that they remove him. That's not what I want, but I pray that it happens. Because if it happens to Yeke, the good thing is that they have opened a roadmap that all of them can be removed one day too. That's the only thing that I'm looking. Let them do it and let the air work against Yeke. And if it happens to Yeke, they're not going to be in power for the longest. Because we know the next group will be another corrupt group of government. If the other corrupt group come, they will start to remove these other guys too. So that's all I can say about that. But again, and when they remove Yeke, I want him to go jump back in the race to run. And I'm sure he will definitely win them again. So it'll just be a waste of money. Thank you.
Yeah, wonderful. Thanks to all of you. Sorry for the little break in. We're gone 25 minutes into the second half of our show here this evening. And thanks to you guys for transitioning. I think that's great. Transitioning to the president letter calling on the legislature to come from their break, at least to do some business. Even the president also talked about the supplementary budget. I don't know, that some of you, Monk, maybe, and Brother AB, some of you will have the, the financial, if I will understand some of the things, maybe you will tell us more. But even though we don't have time for that, but Brother AB were talking about the letter, the president putting new money, and myself, I'm very concerned about that, as to whether maybe there's any concern about maybe tune up money, or maybe we have any kind of tier money, let me just say in the same form, or are we changing the coins, or which one our government really want to do? Because if you are printing new money, even though this entire discussions you are going for maybe 1 hour or in fact about 2 hours, but again, maybe tomorrow we'll even look at that tomorrow.
We'll expand on it tomorrow. I think the best we can do looking at the time.
Exactly.
Yeah, at least we can just look at it from the surface right now, at least.
Yes. Seriously, because myself, I'm very confused as to, and but if you just make some of my points, what the essence of you putting in new money? Well, maybe you want to maybe put some into the economy, and how that going to work? Because if you're not careful, now the brother Ali and if you were thinking about it, the rate is 185. So if you bring in new money, yeah. So maybe you can just close up with that.
I wonder for the old hand to come in there. I will follow after Saint Ben came, or I leave either one of them on the issue. Because for me, I got a whole different thing. But like I said, we'll delve into it deeper tomorrow.
Right.
We can talk about it on the surface for now. We can get to that 36 minutes on the hour. But let me let the issue come. Let me get his perspective and see.
Well, I will just go on with what Ivy just said. The questions behind this particular printing of new money, the idea, I think is irrelevant at this moment, because we just printed money in the last government, and to replace money, it have to be some deficiency of the old notes or some problem. But like we said, we'll just do the surface at the moment, because I believe it's an undertone under this thing here, and we're going to bring it out tomorrow. All I can say. Thank you.
Yeah, Monk, come in.
Are you there?
Oh.
Ali
Ali gone. Ali not here.
Yeah, I think
I think you said everything right. You said there is not an economic informed decision. Matter of fact, the gatekeepers, they are not economists, they are mostly accounting.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, the situation we are in, we already got tough time. The economy is doing better. We all know the issue of petroleum and gas around the world is the lifeblood of the economy. The entire war now is on the edge because we cannot predict. Like I said, we're talking about 1/5 of the world's oil coming through the Strait of Hormuz. Which rational government will think that will be thinking about printing new banknote, knowing that it will be deflationary? You will have runaway inflation. Our poor people will pay 2 times the price. It's almost like someone choking your neck and another person come and step on your neck. That's exactly what the government is trying to do. Because there is a culture that when they print new banknote, It's a license to steal on an industrial scale. We saw it with the mop-up exercise. We saw how it came from the printing of 5 billion Liberian banknote to 11 billion in Liberian dollars from the previous administration, Madam Sagi, that rolled over to Georgia. So when I saw that news, I was like, at this stage, when the whole world is uncertain, who come up with the idea of printing additional banknote if it's not informed by any economic narrative from the country, whether it's from the central bank as to why we should be printing banknote? But then when I saw the budget aspect, I said, okay, maybe they know they will not come out with that so-called historic budget of 1.2 billion. Maybe they think it's another means of decoy and cover hole. And I know they will carry some political maneuvering, whether it's about removing get called back, they will bribe their way. And for me, the only thing that I see, AB, like I said, it's all about giving themselves license to steal more, knowing our people will not, nobody will talk about it. But it makes no economic sense at this current moment to print new banknotes. So the question is, why would the president call for our lawmakers reconvening? Because there is something cynical about this, and I know it mostly about stealing and corruption. Nobody called for reconvening a session we had or national security emergency. But when it comes to printing money, he calling lawmakers from on their break. When it comes to the budget, they are coming from on their break, because guess what? They are the only one that are going to benefit. The Liberian people are going to take the bigger share of the bread economically, because when you print money, you want to print more useless money, more you get paid more. So if we factor in the gasoline crisis and the oil crisis, the energy crisis in general, you question why would the president at this particular point in time think about, can even conceive that idea? That's why I'm still here to understand. But that's Liberia. It's the only country in the world that anything can happen. So it's not strange, but it just doesn't make any sense to me. I can't wrap my head around it when I saw that.
Let me just chip on that thing real quick. The thing about it is that you stated something. Global investors, economically, when there's uncertainty, they find it very difficult to make financial decisions in terms of investment and other things. People will not do those things, especially things that become capital intensive. So for you to come and talk about printing money, what is the relevance as compared to the stability of the economy right now? You don't have a shortage. The central bank has not come out to tell you that there's a shortage of Liberian currency on the market. Maybe the state is somewhere, I don't know, maybe when you're in Liberia, you don't have on the news like that. So no. I don't know the rationale at this point.
It is surprising though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So for you to be making these decisions, it's a very difficult thing. First and foremost, you have a country invaded by another country. You do not even call the legislative branch to session to deliberate it. But you're calling them to come to session to talk about printing money. I mean, how do you reconcile these things? Listen, man, guys, I don't know.
Y'all heard the news today from the finance minister. He said we got surplus, so that will be talked about tomorrow also. He said we got surplus.
Budgetary surplus?
Yeah. I don't understand why you got to be coming up and lie blatantly to the public. How we got surplus? How come?
Hold on, Brother Dishi. You're talking about what? Budgetary surplus from what time?
Yeah.
What period he's talking about?
You're talking about the recent thing now. He announced to the president that he got surplus.
He
was on OKFM this morning, so I'll go and do another
I didn't listen to it, but I don't know
what's OKFM this morning.
I don't know surplus of what, because listen.
The 2026 supplementary budget is yet to be passed in. I mean, to sign into law. That's why
he said we got surplus. That's why I don't understand. I want to check it out.
That's why I'm going to ask a question, because I mean, listen, for me, I did minor in economics at the University of Liberia, so a little bit idea in that direction, but the rationale economically, I'm yet to connect the dots here, because the dots here. I'm finding it a little difficult.
Go to OKFM. I think you'll be able to help us tomorrow.
I think a little bit tomorrow and see, but it's not making a lot of sense. Politics is not.
I think we'll stop here for today. Tomorrow we'll go deep into this nonsense.
Yeah, man, tomorrow, because this is a very, very huge and that an interesting topic. Our people want to know that Steve already saying that this is this guy are about to destroy the economy still and shoot themselves in their foot or in the legs. Yeah, you may be right, Steve, because sometimes this thing happen with how they call I leave them, but them their CDC government they said they were doing
But maybe when you're going far up, Zimbabwe they did similar thing, put a lot of money and put it in the market. People used to take whole bag to buy one cup of milk, whole bag of money. Now you have to get some stability in terms of this kind of monetary thing, man. Because if you don't have the economic backing for your money, I don't care how kind of money you print, man.
But
It's not going to survive.
Right, talking about milk. Milk is even more expensive.
I know, right? So I don't know what's going on here, but anyway, we'll try to look at it critically maybe tomorrow or so. Maybe you can go. Oh, I think maybe I'm talking.
Yeah, maybe I think maybe I'm having some internet issue today.
Issues, right? I think you got a little issues going on.
Yeah, we'll just keep discussing.
Yeah, guys, thanks for having me, man.
I'm gonna come tomorrow. Y'all gotta show on the show. We gotta maintain the show.
But listen, man.
Yeah,
I know. Until people come by, and you know, what's your take here on the whole thing about your president just going all around building? I don't know why he printed money to pay more condominiums.
Yeah, that's what will happen.
I say tomorrow it will be good that we go through this because there's a lot of undertone under this printing of this new money. I don't see no sense in it. Seriously, I don't see any sense in it. It has to be something under it. Why the executive asking the House, like the president said, he asking the House that they will be able to pass a particular bill for what? For what?
And mind you, the thing about it is that even before they went for the break, one of the legislators even proposed that guys, let us extend our break here so that the issue at the border and other security can be deliberated. They said, no, we got to take our break. Now, if the president had anything, because you can't tell me that they think they just slept yesterday morning and woke up and talk about bringing money, apparently it might have been discussed at that level. Why could he extend it? Now you're calling these guys, make sure you're going to pay them tax-free money. That's what I made it understand. I stand corrected. But I said they're going to pay them tax-free.
So let me ask you guys one question.
Yeah.
Since we got two government operating like bro, got a Guinea and a Liberian, which currency
man, come on.
The Liberian government going to print money.
No,
here's the funny thing, right?
Right.
You have a national security emergency. It was one of the very first thing that we sell on this platform. The moment we heard that news,
I know.
They should reconvene the lawmaker.
Exactly.
The president didn't do that. But when it comes to printing of new paper, everybody is coming from their break and coming for an emergency session. Pay for again.
Pay for.
Like I said, the only thing I can deduce from the whole stuff is these guys are again looking for a way to steal again on an industrial scale, because all they will do, they will overprint, they will print way more money, they will get their kickbacks, the president will share envelope around to get whatever you want politically, and at the end of the day, our people will be the one to suffer it the most, because you can expect the inflation to double.
Of course. No even what about it. The thing is strictly economic.
Look, guys, let me just share one experience with you about changing of this money. Things that have not been talked about yet, but people are going to understand it. Those who could listen to the radio, now they're going to hear something. When they killed Tuber, when Joe came into power, our Liberian dollar was 1-to-1. I was living right there on Broad Street, 1-to-1. What happened was that they influenced Joe to change to the Joe coin. It was a problem. When they changed to the Joe coin, it started off from 110 to $1, from 120 to $1, from 130 to $1 until it went up. What happened was that we got to find out was that they said that we had 60 million in our reserve. And in changing of the money, they were going to make the equivalent of 60 million for it to balance it to be 1-to-1. What they did was that they went and they printed 90 million. That's where our economy started to fall from. From the first time we ever changed our money, it was when Doe came into power, and that money, the people influenced him and they changed the money to the Doe coin, and that's where the collapse of our economy started from. They printed 90 million and only 60 million that we had in our reserve to have balance off the 60 million that we're going to print to balance it off to be 1-on-1, and they printed 90 million. And since that time, all the other governments that have been printing have been having problems in printing. When you print, we'll always have surplus for the government to have, for the very few that have influenced the government to do that, to get their cut out of it.
But that's a valid point over there. Like you talk about the coins, even up to the war. The Liberian dollar monk, it was valuable. The Liberian dollar was valuable to the point that even when Taylor took war, when you had Greater Liberia and so on and so forth, the JJ at the time, the JJ was still valuable, but because you have a whole lot of backings for your currency at the time. Okay, but my thing here is, guys, you guys are forgetting. You had these very legislators. They took $200,000 instead of visiting our border. Did they ever come back to speak to the Liberian people about any findings on the border? Or rather, they stopped along the road. They said singing the song, the more we are together, the merrier we are, whatever it is. And that's what they sold to the Liberian people. In America here, every time, take for instance, all of the chaos that were happening with these ICE thing and so on and so forth. Every time legislator be a joint Republican and Democrat, they visit any of these localities. They will come back and speak to the American people. Whether you agree with it or not, they will say something to the people. But you got a legislative branch over there. They visited that border there. They came back to Monrovia. They only stop along the road, start singing song, talking about the merrier they can make it, all kind of things. And then today, you're recalling the very people back and paying them again. I mean, how can be screwing this one country over and again like that? I'm yet to find out a monk. I don't know, man.
I think that song I was singing, that was the most meaningful song I've ever saw our legislature, song.
Oh my God.
That song meant a whole lot to them. The more we are together, the happier we'll be. So they're telling Liberian people, yes, we as legislators will be together and we'll screw you guys over. If that song and the way the guys' behavior haven't taught us anything, these guys will go scotch-free every time they commit crime.
It's a culture of impunity, completely. Culture of impunity.
Nothing will change.
Yeah. It's a culture of impunity.
AB, right?
Yeah.
The reason we still keep monitoring the situation because almost like a replay of what we experienced with the Milton Weeks and the Charles Salif with the Nat Petrie and the whole country. Of course. Our law says only the legislature can give the president authority, the executive authority to print money.
Of course. Yes.
But then they tell you that in certain instances, the board of governors at the central bank
can make decisions,
can print money under certain circumstances.
Yeah.
And that's where the seeding will come from because they will use that. I don't know. Hold on 1 second. Says, yeah, you want to chime in because I was just making a point, but let me let you go.
I do.
All right. Let me tell you what to say, yeah, guy. Let you have some says, yeah, then I will come in later to end up.
Sure.
Go ahead, says, yeah.
Okay. Hello, Sarah. Thank you for taking my call. I see my brother with you. I see Conan, Mebongon. I think I hear another voice there. I'm not sure who the voice is.
Ben, the refugee man.
I see. Oh, Ben, the truck.
The uncalled sedition, the refugee man.
I'm putting me in trouble with your chair. God bless you. I actually wanted to call in. I know my cousin is honored the post and you told me to really take this situation. That's why I've been quiet. But let me say this to all of you from your voices. I will join you on Thursday, but the the war that's going on. I don't really want to talk about it right now, but it will take care of itself for now. But I want to talk about Liberia. I think it was Cyrus that said, and we all know that Biafra is not an economy. The head of the central bank is not an economy.
Yes.
No.
The president is not close to finance a country before I would say an economy. Okay. We are a cash-based economy. We're an import economy. I have to
Simple.
to all of these other issues. Okay. Now, your money does not give value based on your input. Okay, that's where you have something called balance of trade. What you export is what gives value to your money. We are fighting today for our life because of the petrol dollar, what makes our money valuable. All right, these people are calling these people back. They just told us we made the most money in history of Liberia. We got $1.2 billion money. That was the projection. But you are calling to recast again. Okay, it tells us that there is a problem with our so-called experts that we entrusted or they are hired by the government, the president, to come here and work for us. Because every year they will recast, especially with the female government, budget support. We're coming again to recast. Then you're telling us you want to print money. We printed money just before UP left power. Now the money that came into the country that we had that issue on.
Yeah, the MAPO exercise, the presidential task force, and all that crap.
The one that what do you call it, Salah then took to his school, Malusa, and they divided it. Okay? Then within now 6 years, we tell them how we print the money again. This government is supposed to be the most experienced government. The only people that would pay for this, Cyrus and the rest of you, is our people.
Oh, yes.
We are not, listen, you are not creating anything. If you don't have product to sell, if you educate your population, okay? Whatever, Singapore does not have natural resources, it did not. They have 500 billion in the what do you call it in the budget, the GDP. What do Liberia have? You have the gold, you got the diamond, you are giving everything away free. But you want to print money. You are coming back to remove Yeke. What are you removing Yeke for? Because Yeke said based on the document or the information that he gathered, that the land belonged to. For them, for finance said the same thing if not worse.
Exactly.
Said, okay, that the people came for their land.
The land that we claim to have.
Yeah. Liberia is claiming. Yes.
Okay. Now, it's also the speaks to the problem with Liberia. Okay, Liberia had a re-boundary. Okay, over 5 times. If I have convention, if I have treaty during the colonial time. During the Guinea that exists now, they have to find a way. If Yaka said that's the information I was provided, then let's find that information. Let's compare this information. That's information that we can build on research to see which of the information he has. But to say you're moving, I heard some people say the other day, Yaka, the president is poor, the president West is poor, and Yaka insulted the president West. We post Donald Trump every day. We post his white picture when she was a little girl and she was dancing on the pool. We post her naked picture when she was married. We make the face out of animals. We call him all the other names. Go look at different people. That's democracy. If you want to be insulted, then he does not need to be in the government because he holds the life and livelihood, the future of Liberia in his hands. So people will speak to that. When children are dying, they will speak to that. When children are being left behind, they will speak to that. But what I think they're doing, they're trying to bring spend more money to steal that money would be worthless. Right now, Nigeria, $1 to US is $1,500 or $1,500. That's where we are headed. And especially this time, where today my gas is $6. The gas I used to put in my car because it's premium is $6. You carry $600 to the market, you can buy food for 1 week for 2 people. This government should be thinking to withstand our country for everything that's happening. Because everything that is happening now will affect and impact all of us. What is the way out? They should be talking to the country. Why the putting mechanism they're putting in place to save and safeguard the nation, and they're thinking about stealing. That's what they're thinking about, folks. Stealing.
That's
stealing,
it. Nothing more.
Stealing.
That's it.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, sis, yeah. Guys, stay there. I think Mayborn will just maintain the show until the hour because Mayborn is off. I don't think he will come back on the radio, so we can just hold it long for the next 10 minutes.
Okay, let me just say this. There's something that is fundamentally wrong with the government. I have a Guinean that I work with, so I was just talking to them randomly. No, she kind of saw my Facebook posts and said, "Oh, Ben, she doesn't know much about Guinea, but she hears a little bit." So she's like, "What is really going on here?" To be honest, as a Liberian, I could not tell her a straight story. I'm telling, I think that gold mining. I think the Guinean say that we treated people. I gave about 5 different stories about exactly what is going on at the border. And up to this time, I really do not know what the.
But why you giving story when your president again? You give you a story. So how you be giving another president story? Go ahead.
Thank you. And this is why some of my friends don't understand. We don't have a straight. Nobody knows what is going on. Whether this is a goal issue or whether we training people. And if you can't tell the people what is going on, the people will formulate their own stories. And then you will have to be running around to tell what is not true. Why can't you be straight up with the people? We don't need all the details, all the technicalities. We don't need that. But give me a say. So when I meet someone, when I meet a Guinean, I know how to argue. I can't argue. I can make no case for Liberia because the government is not giving me the tools to do that. Thank you, man. It's just sad.
Yeah, Ben, you're so right. It's embarrassing up to today's date that Liberia can't actually explain to you why their country is currently still invaded by a foreign country, and you have a government. Their priority is all about money, 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 and money. It's the same money issue that get that border in that situation today. People are in power that get all of the ill-gotten riches over there, and yesterday they want more and more to the point that they're going and mining in people territorial waters and so on and so forth, and government cannot explain. They can't even hold anybody accountable. So anytime you have this government telling you that the thing is under investigation, rest assured that that's the end of that story. Look, guys, this government, based on the situation here, that guys are putting on an impression. There's diplomatic discussion being here. That's baloney over there. That's baloney. Let it prove me wrong. But you can't even educate the minds of the people. Tell them that, hey, this is the situation. This is what really happened. Let me tell you, if you're authentic on some of this issue, regardless of the gravity of it, people tend to side and say, you know what? At least they are told the fact, and here's what we can work with now. But you cannot remedy a situation that you don't know about. And it's embarrassing for Liberia, even outside Liberia, to even explain to other people what's unfolding in their country. I bet you will not try things like this in Ghana or any of those progressive nations around there. It's not going to work. The citizens will demand it out of you. But again, this is Liberia. You got legislators that can't even call the government to book and say, look, government would demand that you come and explain to all here, give us the picture of what's happening here. No. They haven't even convened a meeting on that particular topic. Nothing of the kind. But rather they're talking about, the people bring relief to your here with mandating them. People don't even know their responsibility to say this because speaking out of ignorance at the time, He doesn't even know his responsibility. But this is what you got over there, guys. It's unfortunate. The party are all screwed up in that place, right?
But AB, like we'll keep talking about on the show, AB, right?
Yeah.
Our society have reached a point that it's so bad of that people do not even know what affects them the most. Like you said, this will not happen in a normal society. You got a crisis that is unpredictable. Then your president is talking about printing more money. The only group of people that will be impacted tremendously will be the everyday Liberian. But guess what? Those guys understand the country well. They know the people don't have, they don't even pay attention to this thing. They cannot even tell how their life will be impacted. So the president can just call for reconvening of the lawmakers. He can push his brown envelope. He will get everything that he wants, and people will just sit over there and accept it. And I didn't even see any statement yet from any political leader because they know comments cannot tell me that he does not understand deflation.
I know.
But he's not going to talk about that. I haven't heard anything from any of them. And like I said, wow, with the president at this critical moment in terms, looking at the last experience from printing money, we know what it led to. It led to a presidential task force. It led to a multiple exercise.
But Monja, let me just interject. You know, print of money, you know the cost associated with that, in fact? They're not even telling you anything.
Well, in the Crane report, the Crane Financial, we got to pay extra again.
Exactly.
You
got to pay. You got to pay for it. It's not that, you got a copy of my money, your prince, and bring it, let me carry it. No. It's very cost associated. And they're not even telling you all of those things. In the economy about it, what are you explaining? What's the justification at this point in time to infuse a lot of Liberian currency, running beyond foreign currency in Liberia at this point in time? What are you doing? I mean, it's just glaring. If it becomes an accidental thing that you don't have an inflation, they say you cut behind, you did a good job. But it's obvious. So when you infuse a lot of Liberian dollars over, chasing pure foreign currency, that is the strictly reality that you can't change. What are you backing away?
Yep.
But guys, man.
We'll do that to shoot. A roundtable 1 minute each. Our parting comment, and we can call it a day. Hopefully, to in details if you guys are around.
Oh well, yeah, I will. I want to say thank you for you guys inviting me. I got something to do at 8:30. I'll be going to watch the war show today. I gotta go buy my popcorn. War show today. I go into Riverly Cinema today.
Oh shit. I know, right?
Got to Riverly tonight.
Yeah, well, Ben, come around tomorrow, man. Come around tomorrow. That brainstorm a little bit.
You guys take it, guys. See you guys.
Come around tomorrow, guys.
All right. Bye-bye.
We got the shoe. Take us home.
Yeah, I think this year is up too, guys.
Mr. Dishu, are you there? I mean, I see you on the stream.
Yeah, I say the show was very informative, and I think tomorrow we will get more highlights on what we all know about happenings in Liberia. That border concern, I sent communication back to Liberia, giving them my experience from that border. During the interim period of time, I worked for the government at that moment, and also I was a businessman. And we use that area to pass the gold down to Conakry during the early days when the war had subsided. And I had some investors from America in Liberia that I convinced them to buy a car for us to drive to go to Guinea. So my first time going to that particular area, where they put the car on a raft from that particular place, and we cross on the other side to Kisedu, from Kisedu to Kikedu, from Kikedu to Mamu. From Mamu, we'll go down to Labe, and you can pick your route to go down to Conakry. So it was that route that I used 3 different times, and the intelligence I got from that route, I share it with our people. So these are things that we have experienced, and we'll share it with people, but how they use it, it will be up to them. So that's just part of it. Tomorrow we'll talk better. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thanks, brother. Yeah, Mom, I mean, that's before you take it home, man. Listen, guys,
All right.
we got to keep talking. We got to keep talking on this thing, and we got to keep highlighting that. There might be diverse opinions on issues, but it needs to be highlighted. And unfortunately, to the maybe on that hear from the people, because I know people got a lot to say. Money and time we hear from the people.
Tomorrow will be rough around here. We're taking a whole 2 hours on this matter because we know they got a political concern. It has nothing to do with the economy or the economic situation, and it just about stealing, and that's what we're taking.
It's strictly, man. It's strictly, Mom. It's strictly. It's unfortunate, but I will try to look at those and whatever press release today, and then I'll try to delve into a little bit more, so at least we can get a better picture of what's happening more. But it was a great show, guys. Thanks for the time, man.
Take care.
Okay.
Tomorrow again, God willing. Take care.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We talking about podcast and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the club. Qualified people who willing to sell. The blessing that time and the effort are rest. The brothers giving us the end, the promise from them. So welcome my life with African.
I lyrical health.
Master.
Play Paris, who make you again Sktv venue. Say my journey, Tina get as say my yamo. And yes, I know money, the more I know. And you love our money, the more I know.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grandbaza.
And I dine ya to money, and I sadia ya to money, and I connectly ya to money, and I could do ya to money, and I dine ya to money, and I sadia ya to money, and I connectly ya to money, and I could do ya to money, and I forget now ya to money. That's the thing, and I forget it now. Cause you walk on my ya to money. Yeah.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grandbaza.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We talking about podcast and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the club. Qualified people who willing to sell. The flesh, the time and the efforts are rest. The broadcast we giving a real and I promise my best. To work with my life with Africa. From Grandfather, Nima to Lufa. From Riverside, River G to Chile. From Grand Crew, Bombing, Kidman, Monster Rider, San to Backwalu. From Maryland, Bonk to Mikey B. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa.